Ooh, let's see, that's a tough question. It really is. But I would say this: when you look down through the annals of time in U.S. history, the history of the American Empire, the last third party to win was won by a brother named Abe Lincoln. That was a third party victory because the two parties before had been so tied to a barbaric system called slavery that they could only come up with little liberal versions of slavery. They didn't want to abolish it, Give them a break on Saturday afternoon rather than 7 days. Oh my God, I feel so good. We got liberal slavery now. It's still barbaric. It's still dehumanizing. Right? And the Liberty Party was the third party in the 1840s and 50s trying to bring the issue to bear. Then John Brown came along and said, these parties ain't going to do nothing. It's going to end in blood. And he got $600,000 from a Black woman named Mary Ellen Pleasant, who's known as the godmother of human rights in California. $600,000 in 1850. He had the note in his pocket when he was executed. Black, white, working with Douglass, working with Harriet Tubman. He said the system does not have the capacity to actually undergo change and transformation to come to terms with this catastrophe of slavery. And so third party emerged, Republican Party. Here's Abe Lincoln, and he walk around. He really don't know fundamentally what's going on because he gives the first inaugural address. What does he say? I want to make a compromise. It's all right to have the South keep Black people in slavery in perpetuity. I just want to compromise. And Frederick Douglass said, who is this slave hound from Illinois that wants to keep my people enslaved in perpetuity in the name of compromise? That ain't no compromise. That's being deferential to barbarity, revolting barbarity and shameless hypocrisy. That's Frederick Douglass. Now, of course, later on, they're going to be Ace Boone Cole. They're going to be good friends because Lincoln had to grow. He said, okay, I'm for emancipation, but send them all to Haiti. No, they didn't help build the country. And he changes his mind again. White side of town, straight out of Kentucky, no college, but at least 2 colleges went through him. He got the Bible in one part of his, in one side of his pocket. He got Shakespeare in the other. He's growing. It was a third party that had to do that. It was a third party, and they still had the Civil War. And he still continued to change his mind. Next thing you know, he believed Black folk could vote. Once 200,000 Black folk joined the army and break the back of the Confederate army, you see, join the Union Army and break the back of the Confederate Army, you see, Lincoln's still growing. So when people say, well, third parties have done this and that, that might be true for a certain historical period. But don't think that every historical period has the same dynamics. Sometimes you got breakthroughs. We don't know when. Now, I'm not going to be, audacious and say, well, I know this is I don't know. I'm swinging. I'm fighting. I'm doing all that I can to make sure that we can try to save the best of the planet, save the best of our traditions, put the focus on poor and working people, not just in the United States, but around the world, and then pass it on to the younger generation.